Hello, and welcome to my Granblue Fantasy versus Figure Studio lighting tutorial. So, this picture you see here got like a decent amount of attention, and I was asked how I did the lighting on this one. So, what I decided to do is that I'm going to make a video to show you how I did it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, first off, where do I start? Okay. Oh yeah, focus settings and all that. Well, this is something you experiment with on your own. But this tutorial is not about that right now. Instead, we're going to be talking about a certain filter and why this one especially is very important. I'm going to show you exactly why, and I'll get into the nitty-gritty a little bit later, but if you want to know how important it is, there you go. So it looks washed out, a little desaturated maybe. When you put this, the magic appears. And that is how I get it. So, alright, let's get to the layering. So, first off, to start, the perspective for one, let's get into the perspective first. So, the additional plane right here, that is not one of the filters that you get from, this menu right here. You know, it doesn't have a filter. Notice here? None of it is from a filter. Instead, it is from an additional plane. It's from an asset. It's a figure. So, what it is right here, all I gotta do here, allow me to move it. There you go, see? Yep. So, what I did here is that I changed the gradation on this plane to give this sort of like snowy look to the camera. Now I just played the settings. I made it bigger so I could cover the camera while also not stressing. Like every time I moved it, like it wouldn't get in the way. You know, it's not important. Change it to a hue I wanted. In this case, I changed it to like a light blue, like an aqua color. The intensity isn't that high. It's if not at all, or there's not at all. I just wanted a white color to give it like a, you know, since I put snow particles in it, that's why I made it white, you know. And then the brightness, you know, get it at 12. Give it a soft enough color, but it's not too bright. And the gradation is where this is key. The opacity, it controls the opacity of the planes. The planes are meant for this kind of thing. So that's one layer of it. Now, let's get to the other methods I used. I wish the layering system was a little more easy to... There we go. Okay, so you can barely see it, but right here, this is an additional circle. It's a type of plane. So, watch. Keep an eye out on the photo. It's right here. When I move it, the lighting is not there. See, how I got this trick... Damn it. How I got this trick is that I put the hue in between the red and the yellow right here on the color spectrum. This is gonna be your go-to coloring hue for if you want to brighten up the photo a little bit, to like give a source of light in your photo if it's not going to be like a white color like what I did with the rectangular plane that I put in front of the camera directly. So the intensity right now is like around the 20s. You just play with the settings a little here and there to find out whatever you're comfortable with. And the opacity, I usually leave it at like around like 1 to 5 maybe. In this case, I put it at around 2 because it is the lightest one without, you know, obscuring the picture and making it, you know, going a little overboard with this. So, and as you can see here, I have more than just one additional circle plane right here. And that's just to put it into another part of the picture to even out the lighting. Yeah, see, I put one over Sandalphon to give him some lighting. And I put one over Grimnir to even it out a little bit more, so we can give him a little bit of a focus, because the focal point here is supposed to be the both of them. So that's what I did here. And that's not all either. There's a third one right here, in between them. I kind of wanted to signify, like, how the warmth in between them. Like, and you also pay attention to where the light on their faces is. To, like, kind of give a sort of a perspective that there's a light forming between them. So, yeah. And sometimes, if I feel like, oh, this really isn't enough or I'm not satisfied, you know, what if you feel like, sometimes you feel like, oh, it's a little hard to see, or if you want it a little brighter, sure, you can do that. But personally, here's a little trick that I do time to time. Since I'm satisfied with this right here, where it is, I only left it at one layer above them. But another neat little trick you can do is to duplicate this. And you see how it got, like, slightly brighter? You can play with the setting on this one to get a special type of lighting with it as well, to make it warmer. Yep, the intensity, you know, stuff like that. Personally, when it comes to the light that's more on the, you know, brighter yellowish side, I feel like this doesn't work. This doesn't work super well, but that's just a personal opinion. But in this particular photo, it's gonna depend. But layering the circles over each other tends to give a really nice effect, and I got a really good example to show you. And I will get to that in a minute, but yeah, that is how I did my lighting on this photo. I'm gonna pull up another one that I can show you. That is a pretty good example of what I mean by, you know, or rather a better example of what it means to use different colors. So this one was a work in progress, and I did play with this a little bit earlier, before I started recording. It is invisible right now. So we have our additional circle right here. You can't see it right now because it is on a low brightness, so you cannot see it. So if you keep an eye out, you can see the photo brightening up, and it's making Lucilius glow. This is a little bit of a, it's a little different, because this time, the lighting is a special color. It's a color that is complementing Lucilius's color. And I kept it at 1, because if I did this, I don't feel great about it. But here, it's just right. You see what I mean? There is another one. And I do believe I layered it. I don't exactly, nah, dang it. Sorry, the layering system's a little confusing sometimes, but, here we go. The additional circle in the back, additional plane now the additional plane in the background, that's a little different. We'll get to that later. But for now, I applied the same, you know, square filter thing in front of the camera. Yeah, you see the difference? This one's a little more colored, so you can see the drastic difference between the two. Like right here. Look how much better it looks. It's great, isn't it? Yeah, not only that, but this plane also enhances the lighting that I put on Lucilius's model here. So, that's a really good example of what I mean by if you put layers on these, the more you get to, you know, make these little lightings pop. So, let's see, I'm gonna get another additional circle. Yeah, I layered another one on top of it. Right now, the gradation is at 0. I hid it because I just wanted to show an example, but here you go. This is what it looks like. And turn down the brightness a little bit. Here we go. I'd say maybe around here is a pretty satisfactory brightness. So, here we go. So right now, this is what it looks like. Let's see, without the overlay. Sometimes a picture can be a little too bright. The overlay can help tame it a little and make it a little less bright because it gives it more depth. Now, it complements the theme of this picture because of how, you know, dark their colors are. That's kind of the point. I made this for Halloween, but I couldn't really finish this on time in order to get it out, but I may as well showcase it here now that it's here. And also keep in mind, you can mess with the settings on the overlay as well. So if you want it a tiny bit more glowy, but still keeping that depth, you can adjust the brightness on it, just like this. And this is it now. I would say this is pretty satisfactory to me, personally. I could probably add a little more lightings. In fact, I probably will. But there is something I wanted to show you regarding regarding the plane in the background. Now, the background I was still in the middle of working on, but now I duplicated it. I duplicated it because there's still stuff I want to do with it. Now, what I'm gonna do is that maybe I'm going to choose a different hue. The plane is a red color. You can blend these colors by adding certain shades. You play with it like this until I get a satisfactory shade right here. In this case, right here. Right here I think is fine. So, not only did I overlay the plane on the background to bring out the focal of the picture, but I also got a color to sort of complement what's going on in the focal point right here. So, yeah, that is how I do my lighting. In fact, here's another little tidbit that you can do. You can use the shapes, the planes, yeah, the circles and the additional planes to actually do something really neat with your to your models. It takes a little time, but it's worth it, trust me, and let me show you. Now, you're gonna have to require a lot of patience for this one because you're gonna do a lot of shrinking. It's a little tedious, so, you know, get ready to be sure you set some time aside just to do this. Make sure that you can see it first, because that's going to be key here. You need to see where it is. Now, some people have actually done this technique over in the Granblue server when they post screenshots. Some of them have actually done this here and there. Now, what they do is that they put the circle over the eyes of the models. It's a little hard to position here. Maybe you have to reduce the size a little. Alright. And check on it every once in a while, because this technique is kind of meticulous. It can get really finicky. So, it's why I emphasize making it very obvious to see where your circle is. So in this case, okay, you can sort of see it in Grimner's eye right here. If you duplicate this, you can adjust it. So the thing about the lightings is that not all of them have to be the same exact setting. So you can duplicate them to slowly add on things while also making your lighting more intense without needing to adjust all this and, like, you know, going overboard. It's like adding seasonings to your cooking. So little by little, so you don't go overboard with it and it ends up not tasting really good. You know what I mean, right? So right here, you can sort of barely notice it, but his eye is sort of glowing. You can see I enhanced the way his eyes look. So the lighting not only works on the camera, the background, lighting up the models, giving an effect like this, but it also works on the eyes. With darker colored like areas, putting a little bit more layers tends to help it out like a lot. So I messed with the settings a little. It was took a tiny bit of chores, but you can also slightly change the color of your character's eye by doing this method. And by which I mean, I layered two like ovular circles over his eye just to change it, but that's because I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Remember to make it obvious where it is, because these are very, very hard to see, and you're gonna be saving yourself the headache of trying to see where this is. I got my little lens right here. So right now I want to change the intensity of it, because I plan on doing something a little better with it. Yeah, there we go. So the more you layer this, the more intense the lighting on his eye is gonna be. So you don't have to adjust on each layer, but in my case, I am. So I can get like a satisfactory glowing color. Yeah, like this. See? Alright, and this is what it looks like now. Excuse me. And this is what it looks like now that I put an additional plane with a reddish hue over Grimner's face. It brought out the red tint I put in his eye. And it also helps blend him into it to give him a little more depth as well. And I'm gonna do the same here for Lucilius. Yes, this is what it looks like now after doing a little bit more duplicating and messing with more of the lighting to get an effect just like this. Now, this is completely optional, but you can also mess with the overlay settings as well. And there you have it. Personally, I am satisfied with this result as of right now. Like, maybe it could use a little more depth, but as of right now, I think I am fine with this look right here. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. Oh, I'm gonna be doing a lot of editing, but that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I stream on Twitch here and there. I am a VTuber, so if you want to tune in, the link to my stream is in the description down below, along with my socials. And I will see you all on the, well, I guess anything else I make related to this, I guess. See you when I see you.